Welcome to your piano lesson. If you're here for the first time, I am Gianluca Fronda. If you want to discover interesting facts about me, you can watch an introduction video of the channel. I'm leaving the link in the description below. If you like the content of my channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'm aiming to publish 2 weekly tutorials. Now let's dive into the lesson. Today I want to open the doors to the second most important technical exercise to start developing the foundations of your piano technique according to my school. I want to clarify that I've studied in Italy, in Naples. I could say one of the most interesting and important piano schools of the world. In the past we weren't following the grading system that we are using today in the UK and many parts of the world. The process was divided in 10 long, very intense years. I've already mentioned a couple of times in some comment in reply to some subscriber or somebody that simply landed on my channel. And the exercise that I'm going to show you today is really one of the most important ones of my piano technique. I like to call it, translating almost motamo from Italian to English, falling or dropping if you prefer, but I would say falling exercise. It's an exercise that is using the most important source of energy for a piano player according to my piano school. And it is the arm weight. We are not pushing the keys, but we are using the natural weight of the forearm to generate the sound. Obviously there are moments where you use also extra energy, extra intention and intensity, pushing almost, but obviously it should be understood in which way, and we are really referring to very high levels. But for now, if you really want to take advantage of my advices, I suggest you to start discovering the big, huge power of the arm weight, thanks to these falling exercises. I've noticed that there are more YouTubers, more piano teachers that are explaining the big power, the big importance of the arm weight. It's something not that easy to be understood. You have to really focus. It has almost to do with meditation, the understanding of this important element of the foundations of the piano technique. But stop simply talking and let's dive, trying to understand what I mean. Let's start clarifying the right way of sitting on the stool. So first of all, remember that you should really keep the feet both on the floor. I'm referring to the heels. So you have to touch the floor, never keeping them crossed or in whichever way. So in this way, the feet are relaxed, the legs are relaxed, the spine has to be straight, still. The shoulders completely relaxed. The arm, no tension, in the arm, no tension at all. The arm completely loose and relaxed. The elbow also has to be completely relaxed. The forearm doesn't need any tension. The tension will be allowed just from the wrist up to the fingertip. But we have to understand also in which terms. The wrist has to be relaxed. I'm almost not considering the wrist as a part that is tense. There is one part of it that has to be tense, and actually should be the one underneath, the lower part, where there is a gentle tension that doesn't have to let the hand bend. So it's a kind of a gentle lock that you have to intend. On top, completely relaxed, where if the teacher does this, you have to let him go up. If the teacher comes giving a punch to the, so pushing from top the hand, the wrist, you shouldn't let him go down. Up, yes, down, no. These are in general the main elements. Let's repeat. Feet on the floor, touching with heel. Imagine that this is your foot, toes and heels, so the both heels on the floor. Then all relaxed, spine straight, still, constantly still. Shoulders relaxed, no tension at all. Arm loose, relaxed. Elbow relaxed. Forearm without any tension. Wrist, also we said, relaxed, but with half of it tense, we can say. The lower part kind of tense, the upper part not at all. I said, if I come and I push from top, you don't have to let me go down. If I come from underneath, you have to let me go up. This is very complicated to be understood, I know, but you have to focus and it's possible, trust me. Then remember the hand posture, the arch, and indeed the tension will have to be simply in the hand. But now we have to understand, what do I mean saying the tension has to be in the hand? you have to be really smart now. The tension is allowed just in the finger that is working. The other ones that are not playing or not working at all, they have to be completely loose, completely relaxed. And here comes the complexity of the proper piano technique, where you have to learn how to channel the energy just in the finger that is working, letting the other ones be completely relaxed. Completely. Let's dive even more into the understanding. Hoping that you have understood everything now in terms of body posture and hand posture. You see, this is the arch that I'm talking about. We have to try now to discover the power, big power of this exercise, of the folding exercise. We are going to use simply the second finger. And we are placing it on the C, on the middle C. Imagine that there is a kind of string, an invisible string. You have obviously start using a bit of imagination. Imagine that there is a string coming from the ceiling, yeah? Coming and holding your hand or second finger up. Your second finger is hanging, yeah? Okay? Imagine it in this way. Now, at some point, you decide to cut this string. But let's remember, what do you have to do? You have to imagine that this string is holding your finger, so your finger is hanging, and there is no tension at all, neither in the arm nor in the forearm, nowhere. So if you pay attention, look, it seems that it's swinging. I'm holding now the second finger with my left hand, and my forearm is hanging, my hand is hanging. You see? From both cameras. I hope that you can see what I mean. Okay? Obviously now you have to use your intention. There are tendons in you, nerves, that are helping you holding the hand up. At some point, we decide to cut the string. Imagine that you take a scissor, chick, and you cut. Okay? So at some point you decide, and here we are. You let it fall. When you fall, obviously, you have to be able to keep a very high tension in the second finger. Obviously, I say high tension, it's a normal, gentle tension. We don't have to keep the finger and the hand completely tense. Yeah, that is all tense. No, the tension has to be simply channeled in the second finger. The other one's completely loose, completely relaxed. Let's do it again. 3, 2, 1, fall. Here we are. When you arrive, obviously, you have to be sure that if you have studied well the previous exercise that I've explained, one of the single articulation, you should know that the strength has to be at the highest possible level in the first joint. Obviously, it's still a natural tension, is a natural strength, because if, for example, I try to bend my second finger, it has to click almost. Click, click. Look now I exaggerate my tension. I tense everything, and where it's impossible to push it down. No, we don't need this. We need the very natural one. It's the natural tension that is needed to simply keep the hand up. Otherwise, if I release the tension, look, automatically goes down under the effect of the gravity. So we have to simply use the normal tension, the natural tension needed to hold the hand, the wrist, the forearm up. As soon as you release the tension, look what happened. It goes down. Indeed, we have to simply keep a natural tension. Obviously, let's try to understand why is it so complicated, this exercise. Not only for these reasons, but also for the fact that obviously as soon as you arrive, as soon as you land on the keyboard, you have to not only be sure that the second finger is tense enough to hold up the hand, the wrist and the forearm, but that the other fingers are completely loose, completely relaxed. So you don't have to keep the whole hand tense. The tension has to be just in this one. Obviously then, going backwards, we should be sure that your wrist is relaxed, but you know what kind of relax I'm talking about. If you give a punch to the wrist, your hand, your wrist doesn't have to go down. But if you push from underneath, it has to go up. You see, it's falling on completely different keys, because I'm completely relaxed. Then, as mentioned, also the forearm has to be completely relaxed, the elbow, the arm, all together. They have to be relaxed. The only one that is allowed to be tense is the second finger, that in this case was the one playing. Start from playing the folding exercise using just a second. Once you will be ready, you can do it also with the third finger. the principle will be identical. You fall using the third, and you have to be sure that the other ones are completely relaxed. And you can play, for example, with the second finger, 7 keys going up from the C, D, E, F, G, A. So from the C to the D to the E, F, G, A, B, and so on. You can do even more. Then you do the same with the third. Just when you are ready, you can intensify the work, and you can start working also with the fourth. And just at the end, you also do it with a little finger. Obviously, I have to immediately tell you that with the little finger is very complicated, because it's not that easy to control. You have to also win over the fear of breaking your little finger. To complete properly the exercise, at the end of each falling, of each dropping, you have to let the hand fall down, releasing every single tension. In this way, you let it slide down. In this way you release every single possible tension, and even the tension obviously that you have generated, that you had to generate to hit the key and obviously generate the sound of the key that you are hitting and on which you fall. Practice this exercise as much as you can. Obviously try to ask your teacher in case he knows about this technique, but you have to be really careful following the steps. Check that every single part of your body is in the right conditions. There are parts, obviously, as we said, that have to be tense, parts that have to be relaxed. And if you follow the steps that I've mentioned at the beginning, there is no way that you will be wrong. But obviously it's needed the check of your teacher. I really hope you have understood everything. I really hope that you are appreciating these advices. I know that they are not that common, because in general everybody almost plays in whichever way, not being aware of the big power of the arm weight. That's why I really hope you understood everything. Feel free to comment more than ever. Ask me whatever you like, you want to ask me. You could even contact me in private using any social, from Facebook to Instagram to Twitter, whatever you like. There is even my email address that you can find in the About tab of this channel. Just one more thing to mention: if you have really enjoyed my tutorial, and if you are really enjoying my tutorials, I would really appreciate if you mind the new Super Thanks button that you find underneath. It's very easy to be found. It's either visible or you can find it clicking on the 3 dots. If you're really appreciating my content, my videos, if you enjoy this tutorial and all the tutorials that I have on my YouTube channel, and you want to support me, I would really appreciate. I hope that you understand how much work there is behind every single tutorial, because it's not only about filming or playing. The editing process is quite time consuming, and then the upload and the editing of the description and all is behind the video itself, the setting, the YouTube setting. It's quite time consuming. I'm doing with all my heart because I really love what I do. Music is my life, and probably you understood how much passion I really put into all I do. So your super thanks would be really appreciated. Thank you very much. If it's the first time you're landing on my channel thanks to this video, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next one. All the best.